Hey, what's going on? My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. If you like making money and you want to make more money, this is the channel for you. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. Leave comments below if you guys have any comments about this or anything else. So I'm going to do a market update here. I'm going to go over some general information in terms of bonds, US dollar to kind of look at that. And then we're going to go over gold, some of the precious metals, some of the commodities after that, the pricing of those like copper and oil, and then we'll lead into some of the individual companies. So let's take a look and see what the market's telling us. And I did these kind of early midday. So 10-year still looking good. It's still heading up. A couple of bearish engulfings when maybe we had a little bit lower here, but it's still in an uptrend. Still looking good for higher yields. The dollar is going down. Nice big bearish engulfing on the dollar. So we're heading lower. Nice break of this upward trend. So looks like we're heading lower. Now this is bonds from a weekly candlestick chart point. Very large pattern here. And we're heading on, it's heading lower from a very high point. So typically when yields go up, bonds go down. We'll have to see how far they go down. Obviously, this is a pretty large uptrend. We haven't broken this big uptrend yet. So that's one to watch. And it'll take some time to get down there. Gold, from a weekly candlestick big chart pattern standpoint, looks like a cup and a handle playing out here. Now this handle can, it may have to come out a little more. So we might have some time here to pick up cheap shares in gold and kind of cost average in. That's been my approach. I'm looking at this stuff from a long-term perspective. I'm not looking at it from a day-to-day or a month-to-month. I'm looking at it from a year-to-year perspective. And over the next 5 or 10 years, that's my investment horizon. That's what I'm focusing on. I'm an investor. This stuff is cheap. The wind's at our back. I'm going to look at opportunities to cost average in. So looking at another chart kind of zoomed in on this section over here, this is what it looks like. Pulling up, we got a contraction. It may have a little bit of a down day. I think it had a down day today. So we might have a down day, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But we're in this kind of pullback mode. It's not really, the buyers or the sellers aren't really selling this thing down, and the buyers aren't really pushing it up. It's kind of just meandering sideways still. And it looks like we're contracting a little bit more and more. It looks like the down days are getting less and the up days are getting less. So at some point, hopefully this thing breaks to the upside, of course. Silver, kind of a big term. This could be almost a cup and handle forming, potentially. It does look like one. We'll see what happens here. We'll zoom in. This is zoomed in. It's kind of just floundering sideways. We did break this downtrend here, so that's good. But I think the opportunities are where people are not looking, and I think people are getting kind of sick of gold and silver. But I think the opportunities are in gold and silver because no one's looking. So I'll go over some price charts later of some of the individual companies to see what they look like. Platinum broke this big downtrend here. We've got another one going across here. So it broke that as well. So this is looking pretty good to go on up. Not too much resistance. It kind of broke out of it. So now it's just free to roam. Could be a cheetah, let the cheetah be what it wants to be. Let it run if it wants to run. So I'd be watching platinum. Copper's looking excellent. Look at this thing going up. Nice little kind of chart break here. Moving on up, just stepping up. Now, obviously, this thing's not going to go straight up. You might have some pullbacks every once in a while, but looks very strong. Oil's looking pretty good. We broke this kind of upward trend line, blew right through it. And I think it was down today. But even if this comes back and touches it, we're still in this nice, strong uptrend. So it's looking pretty good. Here's the gold to oil ratio, just to see what the ratio is doing. Oil is outperforming gold. It's heading on lower. And we're at 31. 31 is still extremely cheap in relationship to history. Anything up here is, I would say, ridiculous levels. This is never seen before levels up here. But this is still extremely cheap for an oil to gold ratio. Silver, this is the silver to gold ratio. We're at 68. Still on the cheap side. It's not like incredibly, incredibly cheap, but it's still cheap. And it's still worth buying, in my opinion. Gold to platinum. Platinum's outperforming gold quite heavily here. We're all the way down to 1.48. Still is extremely cheap in relationship to history. I would still be accumulating it if you didn't have any. It's still a good time to buy. There's nothing bad. Up here is just ridiculous levels of how cheap it was. Endeavor Silver. So I think this ended up down a little bit today. But Endeavor Silver is looking good. It has my eye. Even if this is where like a shoulder playing out, and even if it comes back down, I still think this is a spot to look at silver and accumulate over the next, whatever it may be, weeks, days, months. Maybe this thing just blows up to the upside. Remember, a lot of these have broken decade-long chart patterns. And I would be accumulating slowly over time to get into silver. I think silver is going to explode to the upside at some point. I don't know what that point necessarily is. I don't have the crystal ball to say it's going to be 2 weeks from now, but it's looking good. I think it's a good time to add when people aren't looking at it. It's still in a very good uptrend right here. So I think it looks pretty good. Same with Discovery Metals. We're in this uptrend pattern here, this channel. And sure, it's going to bounce back and forth in this channel. But overall, I think silver is going to do great in the long term. This thing isn't spiking or going down. It's kind of just calm. And that's when I usually like to buy, is when it's calm. Regal Ventures, here's the downtrend. Didn't break through. We looked like it attempted to. Came back down. Again, I think it's okay to be buying a little bit in here. Just nibble, nibble, nibble. See, I was a buyer down in this area, this range in here. We had higher lows coming up, stepping into the uptrend line, and it failed. So, I mean, I own Regal Ventures. I think I was cost averaging in some points in here. So I still own it. I'm still holding on. Looks like this thing was going to do an A for effort, trying to break this downtrend line. And we'll see if it breaks here over the next couple of days. But gold did pull back today. So we'll see what gold does. Tower Hill Mines. This one looks fantastic to me. I own Tower Hill Mines. It's going sideways. Nice big up day. We're coming through. We're literally just going sideways the whole time. But this is contracting up right here. And if gold were to take off, I think this is going to explode higher through here. So Tower Hill Mines looks pretty good to me right in here. Impact Silver, again, it's just meandering sideways, bullish engulfing. I'm looking for patterns. It kind of pulled up and we're just kind of slowly leaking some sellers out. I think Impact Silver looks pretty good. You just put a little bit of money in and just keep cost averaging in and then hold on and be patient. Be patient. Teuton Resources. It broke its downtrend right here, came up. I don't know if it finished at 3.65 up because I did this at 10:30 a.m. But it's meandering around. I think, a lot of these, they broke their large chart patterns and you just got to leak money into them. Don't forget about them because these guys, when they go, I mean, look at this. They freaking go. So they can move quite rapidly. We're in a sideways movement right now. And I think it would be prudent to just slowly leak money in. Cost average in. Same with Ely Gold. Same thing. I was buying in. I think in here, you got the higher lows coming through. It was going to try to go for a chart break pattern, didn't break it, and it's kind of coming down. Again, I think this is going to be good eventually. Just got to hang on and be patient. Royal Gold, it broke its downtrend. This is a royalty company. I like buying on the breaks. Maybe this back tests. So somewhere in here might be a good spot to just add a little bit. Fortuna Silver Mine, same thing. We're just hanging sideways. I don't see a lot of selling pressure. So I think it's okay to buy in here. I think, it's good if a stock is just kind of going sideways and we know that there's a lot of good upside potential. I think it's okay to start averaging in here because this looks pretty strong. The down days are pretty muted, and I think we're going to see an upward move at some point. I can't tell you what that point is. I don't know if it's a week from now, a month from now, but it looks solid. It's been traveling sideways, and when that silver price moves, it's going to bring all these up with it. Here's Mag Silver, still looking good. Remember, some of these broke their big patterns, and they're just kind of sitting there going sideways. And that's exactly when I like to buy it. It's low risk, high reward. Lightbridge. Lightbridge is looking pretty good. We have a massive, this is a daily massive pattern break. And then it broke out, back tested, and then we're heading up higher. So that's looking pretty good. Westwater. So this looks like a cup and a handle forming. So we might see a little bit of a handle form right here. And that would be a good one, I think, to buy if you like it. Is Westwater the lead in, the big cup, and then making a handle. First Majestic is just sitting there, right there at the top of its support line on this daily chart. I like it here because I don't think this thing's going to fall back down. You've got this nice support right here, and it's just sitting there waiting for the price of silver to go. Low, I like AG here. Centennial Development broke its downtrend. We're still kind of hanging out here. Maybe it's trying to put in like another cup and handle. We can just have a huge one. So that's one to watch there. This one's Global Lithium Ion Graphite. Drawing it across. We got a cup and then a handle. We got the break, and then it's hitting its head on this. So it might maybe make another little handle here so you could have a nice big cup and handle. We'll see what that does. Birchcliff. Now look at this thing. Nice big chart break. So if you own Birchcliff, way to go. I think Russell has this one. I know I have it. But I don't talk about it as much, but this one looking pretty good. Tellurian. Is this a cup and then doing another handle? It could be. But this one's looking pretty good. Breaks this $4 mark, it might shoot on up because it might be putting in another cup and handle pattern. So looking pretty good. Grand Tierra Energy. Again, I mean, maybe this comes back and does another little handle, and maybe we've got a nice big cup and handle. Big old one. But it's still moving up, so we'll see what happens. Tetra Technologies. This guy's moving on up. Bullish engulfing right here. Perhaps it's a continuation pattern, but this thing's looking pretty strong. And that's what I've got for today. So everything looks intact to me. I mean, oil's it broke to the upside. It's on top of its uptrend pattern. Copper's looking good. Gold is still pulling back. We're still in pullback mode. I'm waiting for this thing to turn around. I think that some of the companies are worthy to add a little bit of money into. And not a lot of people are really looking at it. They think it's dead and it's not moving. Well, that's when you want to add. You don't add and chase things. You want to add before it moves. Now, you might have to wait a little bit, but if you're patient, and I am extremely patient. Remember, I bought a lot of these oil companies before they moved. I bought a lot of the uranium companies when they were way down. They're actually in pullback mode, and I just kept adding in. Fission, NextGen, Encore Energy, Deep Yellow, all those companies. And I buy it when it's out of favor. So you have to get in the mode, in the psychological mode, so to speak, that if you're gonna buy at super low valuations, you just keep cost averaging in. It's not about the instant gratification. It's not about seeing your portfolio go up or down, because you guys I want you to focus. Remember, look way out there in the future, and we're investing today for the gains in the future. It's not necessarily about the path that it takes to get to where you want to go. It doesn't matter if you make a left or a right now. It matters that you end up where you want to go. And I know a lot of people on the channel, they're younger investors. You guys are looking at, I'm going to say, you're looking right here at the prices going up and down, and you're saying, crap, it's down. Oh no, I should sell. Oh my God, it's up. I got to switch over and buy this one that's going up. Oh my God, did you see that one go up 30%? Guys, it's not about chasing stuff. It's not about getting worried. It's about knowing that you're buying all of these things at a very steep discount in relationship to history. You're buying the things that are undervalued. And if you're taking an approach, then you're looking out there 5 or 10 years. Today, you're just saying, I want it to go down so I can buy cheaper shares. You want to cost average in and accumulate. So when I was buying platinum in 2019, I was buying it at, I'd say like 950, 950 and below. That's what I was paying for it. So it was 850 in terms of the ounces that you'd see on AP Max or wherever, Kitco or wherever it is. So it's 850 platinum. I was paying around like 930, 900, 940, somewhere in that range as it was going up and down. And I'm cost averaging in, I'm buying a little bit. And then we had that March crash. And it went all the way down to like 600 and something dollars. And I was like, I'll buy more. I just kept buying and buying and buying. I'm cost averaging in because I know that the valuations are cheap. And now platinum's over 1,200 something dollars. So I'm now up on all of my holdings. And I don't think I bought anything really over like 1,000 something dollars. So I'm up on all those holdings, but I was buying for a year, year and a half, and I just kept cost averaging in. I think that's the approach that all of us need to take with a lot of these companies, because remember, if you can buy these companies, if they go down 20, 30%, you're getting a discount. You can buy more shares cheaper, and you just keep cost averaging in and accumulating all these assets when the ratios are dirt cheap. So we don't necessarily want them to do moonshots right after you buy them. I know that seems exciting, but if you want to make the most out of it, you want it to be low for a little while so you can accumulate more shares than just a little bit. So at least that's my take on it. Let me know what your take is. Leave it in the comment section if that's kind of your strategy, or what your strategy is. If you're trying to time things and trade in and out, let me know. Leave it in the comment section. I'd like to hear what you guys have for a strategy. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I appreciate it. This is Finding Value.